we go. I'll read some of the claims real quick. Just make this kind of a 45-minute video, just introducing directed energy weapon systems patent, and kind of talking about it a little bit. Back up there. Claims a multifunctional radio frequency directed energy system comprising an RFDE transmitter and at least one RFDE antenna for directing high-power electromagnetic energy towards a target sufficient to cause high energy damage or disruption of the target. Deja vu, because I've already read that. A targeting system for locating the targeting system including a radar transmitter and at least one radar antenna for transmitting and receiving electromagnetic energy to locate the target, and an antenna pointing system for aiming the at least one RFDE antenna at the target based on the location of the target as ascertained by the targeting system. Alright, I might go over to I'm going to go over to the ground weapon patent real quick and read some of it. This is a dual-use RF directed energy weapon and imager, and this is actually a ground weapon, so it would be something that somebody shoots like from their house or a car. It's US 804-9173B1, and I think it has a let's see if it has a different number over here. No, that's at US 804-9173B1. Publication date November 1st, 2011. Filing date May 17th, 2007. But the thing is, they were using these things a long time before these patents came out. So they must have just publicized them, I guess. I'm not sure how that works, but a lot of the information must have remained hidden until a lot later on, and then they kind of let things out. I want to read the abstract here. There is disclosed and dual use RF directed energy weapon and imager. A generator may provide a first beam of RF electromagnetic energy, which may be directed to an object by a beam director. An imager may form an image of the object. The imager may share an aperture defined by the beam director. And this is an image. You can see there. See, it's a ground weapon right there. You would hold it like a gun. And then it has some more schematics in there. Very light. Sorry about that. Description. I'll go through some of this, even though it's pretty boring reading. Please come here and check out these patents, on your free time, to kind of understand, to understand the weapons, to understand, how they do what they do. But also, non-TIs, just come see for yourself the existence of directed energy weapons. Target individuals like me are not lying. These are being used on us. It's not some fantasy. I've had one person one time, so it was like the meanest thing, and it was this older lady, and she was like, "Ain't nobody shooting ray guns at you," and I was really, being tortured by these directed energy weapon systems from contractors who, I've told my story on Ellis. I'm not going to go through, how I think that I became targeted, because I'm still trying to figure out why. But I'm not going to get into that right now. I'm gonna read some more of this, and then show one more thing after I go through this. A portion of the disclosure of this patent document contains material which is subject to copyright protection. This patent document may show and or describe matter which is or may become trade dress of the owner. The copyright and trade dress owner has no objection to the facsimile reproduction by anyone of the patent disclosure as it appears in the Patent and Trademark Office patent files or records, but otherwise reserves all copyrights, blah, blah, blah. Okay, background field. This disclosure relates to non-lethal weapon systems and to non-lethal weapon systems utilizing directed microwave energy in particular. And non-lethal is a very, very huge misnomer. It's a huge misnomer. These weapons are very, very lethal. So that is a very, very huge lie of a term. Not even just PC. It's completely blatantly wrong in a lie. Description of the related art. Non-lethal weapons employing directed microwave energy are a known method to deter or discourage an intruder or other targeted individual. They use the word target individual or other target individual from entering a controlled area or from continuing some undesired action. Example microwave-directed energy weapons, also termed active denial systems, are described in U.S. Patent Number 7126-477B2 and U.S. 2007/0040725A1. Description of the drawings. I'm going to go past that. Detailed description. Throughout this description, the embodiments and examples shown should be considered as exemplars rather than limitations on the apparatus and methods disclosed or claimed. Description of the apparatus. Referring now to a dual-use directed energy weapon and imager may include a generator for generating a first beam of electromagnetic energy, a beam director for directing the first beam of electromagnetic energy to an object, and an imager to capture an image of the object. The dual-use directed energy weapon and imager may optionally include an illuminator for illuminating the object with a second beam of electromagnetic energy. The imager may capture the image of the object using at least a portion of the second beam of electromagnetic energy that is reflected from the object as image beam. The generator may include an electromagnetic energy source which may be supported by a power conditioner and a cooling subsystem. The electromagnetic energy source may be a solid-state source, a vacuum tube source, or another source. The electromagnetic energy source may include an array of solid-state sources such as a planar reflect array, a grid oscillator array, a grid amplifier array, or another form of amplifier array. The outputs of the array of solid-state sources may be spatially combined, or combined using a conventional waveguide power combiner, strip-line power combiner, or another power combining technique. The electromagnetic energy source may generate W-band millimeter wave (mmW) electromagnetic energy, which may have a frequency of 75 to 110 gigahertz. The electromagnetic energy source may generate microwave energy, terahertz energy, or other electromagnetic energy. The power conditioner may convert power from a primary power source to one or more power forms required by the electromagnetic energy source. The primary power source may be a battery, a vehicle generator or other generator, or a conventional 120 volt or other AC power supply. I want to go down to the beam director because let's see. Okay, the beam director may include at least one optical element which may define an aperture through which the first beam of electromagnetic energy must pass. While the optical element is shown schematically in Figure 1 as a curved mirror, the beam director may include multiple optical elements which may include spherical, parabolic, aspheric, or other curved mirrors, flat mirrors, spherical, and aspheric lenses, and passive reflect arrays which, although physically flat, function similarly to a curved mirror. So it's talking about directing the beam with those optical elements, the curved apertures, the curved mirrors. Function similar to a curved mirror, but it's really flat. The beam director may also include an aperture sharing element to separate the image beam used for imaging from the first beam of the electromagnetic energy. Many configurations of an aperture sharing element are known. In the example of Figure 1, the aperture sharing element transmits the first beam of electromagnetic energy, but reflects the image beam from the object. To allow separation at the aperture sharing element, the first beam of electromagnetic energy and the image beam may differ in frequency, polarization state, or both frequency and polarization. Let me just read this one last part. It is pretty boring reading, but important reading. I want to go down to the, well, okay, I'll read the illuminator and the imager of the actual directed energy weapon. The illuminator may be a continuous wave or modulated source of millimeter wave or other electromagnetic energy. As will be discussed, the imager may capture an image of the object using a portion of the energy from the illuminator, which is reflected from the object. The illuminator and the imager do not constitute a radar sensor, since no attempt is made to determine the range to the object or to otherwise form a three-dimensional image. In order to allow the reflected beam to be separated from the first beam of electromagnetic energy at the aperture sharing element, the illuminator may generate an illumination beam that has a different frequency or a different polarization or both from the first beam of electromagnetic energy. Getting to about 45 minutes, so the imager for capturing an image of object may include an image detector array that receives the image beam from the aperture sharing element. Within this document, the phrase capture an image is intended to mean optically forming an image at a focal plane and detecting the image with an array of detectors to form an electronic image signal representative of the image. The captured image may be displayed and or recorded. Within this document, an imager is an optoelectronic system that captures the image of an object. The image detector array may be an array of energy detectors, such as an array of antennas feeding a corresponding number of bolometers, or an array of antennas coupled by detector diodes. The image detector array may include low noise amplifiers for each detector element. The image detector array may be any array of detectors suitable for detecting the illumination energy provided by the illuminator. Okay, and so I'm getting up to about 45 minutes. I do want to look at this one last thing, and this is kind of just an introduction to some patents on directed energies, on directed energy weapons and directed energy weapon systems. And I will get into some other patents, but I just wanted to show y'all, you can look up online Directed Energy Professional Society, and they actually have a peer-reviewed journal. They have publications, they have events, and these are people, I guess, interested in directed energy weapons, and involved in the industry of research and experimentation with directed energy weapons. But I wanted to show this one part. The Journal of Directed Energy solicits and publishes both classified and unclassified papers in all aspects of directed energy. The scope of our interest includes, but is not limited to, topics such as the following: directed energy system design, directed energy system transition, high energy lasers, high powered microwave, RF, EM systems, electromagnetic systems, laser optics, acquisition, tracking and pointing, beam control, propagation effects, pulsed electromagnetics, antenna systems, vulnerability assessment, directed energy modeling and simulation, human factors, self-protection issues, test and evaluation, and bioeffects. And I'll show you the page. Here's their web page, the Directed Energy Professional Society. And they have a lot of conferences. The Directed Energy T&E Conference, to be held in January 2018 in Albuquerque, New Mexico. 20th Annual Directed Energy S&T Symposium from 26th of February to 2nd of March 2018 in Oxnard, California. Directed Energy 2DC Exhibition March 19 to 23, 2018 in Washington, D.C. Directed Energy Systems Symposium September 24th through the 28th, 2018 in Portsmouth, Virginia. They have paid internships. I wonder what you do in those. I wonder if you kill people. That was just a joke. I didn't mean that, but I kind of did. Alright guys, I'm getting to about 45 minutes, so I just wanted to kind of do an introduction to some patents, but I will be back tomorrow with some V2K patents and articles.